unravel them so that you can live without pain and aches and live to your full potential.
Oh, okay, excellent. Hi, Barry. As I say, we've got about 30 registered, but as usual with all these virtual things, it's it's a bit of a nightmare. Welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Barry Copeless. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm from Winnipeg, Canada, and
Wow.
I'm the executive producer of Prairie Multimedia Productions. We offer education using tools such as videos, podcasts, and webinars to educate people on how to get work in the film industry, as I'm authority in that area because I do work in the film industry, and also how to develop great relationships and connections using networking, which we're doing now. I have a new podcast coming soon called The Connected Networker. I also am a film actor. I'm a speaker and an author of the book Make Quality Connections, How to Up Your Networking Game. And in 2023, I will be visiting London, England for a business/personal trip. And I've got an ambassador that's going to be my tour guide. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. As I say, we've set up the Exponential Club on the basis of introducing my partner's eyes and people we've met over the years into what I say is a dedicated, for want of a better word, LinkedIn, whereby you can meet potential business partners, investors, whatever it might be, and at the same time build the club into a excuse me one second. Build the club into a global networking club with particular offers and such like. It's not like a discount thing, but a beneficial environment to all members that are involved. So as I say, we've run capital raising events in the City of London. Hi, Luke.
Hey, Neil. You okay?
Oh, yeah, good. We've just started. Obviously, in 2019, we had 2,000 people attend our events in London. We've held events in Dubai, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and Malaysia as well. Now we're just getting back to some sort of normality. We held our second brunch networking event in the City of London last Friday, actually. And we're doing those the first Friday of every month. Obviously, Barry, you're not going to make it from Canada at the moment, but that's fine. We're still holding some virtual events as well. So Luke, I know, came to our brunch last week. Luke, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you very much. My name is Luke, and by the way, that brunch was great. It was good.
Thanks.
Enjoyed the food as well. But yeah, I'm currently a university student studying law, but at the same time I'm building a legal tech startup with a co-founder called Legal Proof, and essentially it's document automation for solicitors or any professionals who deal with wills and probate, so allowing them to draft the wills faster instead of them using templates. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, great. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Do you want to say hello? We can have a little chat. And so I was expecting some more people, but as the virtual world goes, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, yeah, no, good to be here. Nice to see you. Nice to see everyone. I did come to a meeting before, a long while ago. I think it's before the pandemic. I came to one of the real meet, not in-person meets, but yeah. So I run Sport on Spec. It's website for what's on for live sport, all the different live sport experiences that you can actually go in person, taking place in London and Scotland. So it's a discovery platform. We're sort of now sports back. We're sort of looking to scale up with our audience, take people into different, any more than 60 plus sports we've covered so far. So that's below. You can see a few of them behind us. So I am a lawyer back in the day, Luke. So that's interesting to hear. You've got a startup going. I'm still on the road. I don't practice anymore, but yeah, good luck with that. Sounds interesting.
Thank you. Good luck with yours as well. Sounds good.
Yes.
Hi, welcome. Are you there? You are. I'm Neil from Exponential. We can't hear you. Oh, you've gone.
Hi.
Hi, there you go.
Yeah, finally, yes.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, that's not a problem at all. We're getting people coming in. As I say, it's a relatively relaxed event. We're just having a chat. What we can do to help build networks and such like. So would you just like to introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Wei Shun Zhu. I'm the founder of Memory Love. So it's a social beauty platform, and I joined the club, just hope I can meet people and explore. Maybe there will be potential investors interested in investing in the business.
That's great. Where are you based?
I'm based in Hong Kong, but the company is based in the UK.
Okay.
I'm currently in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I spent a number of years there.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah, I love the place. I went to Hong Kong in '91. I flew out the day after the handover because nobody knew what was going to happen. And I went to the Philippines, and I came back a couple of days later. But a great place.
Yeah, we're in a similar situation now because of the national security law, and a lot of people, they just feel that maybe it may not be the same as before, so they left Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. Regarding your raising and such like, are you raising now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, through the London organization.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have here we go, let's get technical for a second, SEIS advanced assurance?
Well, I explored that, but I realized that for the application to be accepted, I need to name a UK investor or potential UK investor. So that's why I haven't been able to get the assurance. Okay,
right. And this applies to anybody who's looking at raising here at the moment, but I can help you there. Have you ever come across a company called Seed Legals?
Yes, I'm using Seed Legals.
Right. Okay. They can certainly help you out.
Okay.
With that, and I know where you're coming from with the requirements, but and Anthony Rose, who's the CEO of Seed Legals, a good friend of ours, comes to many of our events, and yes, there's this requirement, but they can help you with that. Okay.
Well, it's because I confirmed that point with them, but they did not offer any solution to that. Okay. So that's why I stopped the process. But I'm happy to reach out to them and ask them again.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch directly with Anthony. He'll tell you that 85 or 80+% of angels and investors in the UK will only invest through SEIS. Yeah. Now that doesn't apply to all industries, but where it does, that it's pretty vital to have it when you're going out into the investment marketplace. Okay.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Who's popped in there? Anish, how are you? You're muted.
All
there
right.
You go.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Do you want to just say hello to everybody?
Yeah. Hey guys. I'm Anish, and I'm founder of a startup called Bipolar Buddy, which is a mental health app for people with bipolar disorder using AI and machine learning. Yeah, we're just launching this month, so I'm very excited about that.
Yep. We again, Anish came to the brunch the other week or last week. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, definitely. It was great.
As I say, going back from our side onto the global club, the whole idea is to be able to put your information up there about you, what you're doing, what you're raising, what you're looking for. Obviously, you are members of some description or another. What I'd say to you as well is that it's useful for you to go in, log in, and go to your contact details, and perhaps put a picture of yourself up there, because it attracts many more people to look at your profile when they're searching through the various members' directories. If you've got any issues with it or problems with that, let me know, and I'll help you out. Now, we're still waiting for a few people. I'm happy to sort of let anybody have a chat, really, a bit further on, and how you're going, what you're up to. Nicole, are you raising capital at the moment?
So I forgot I muted myself there. No, not at the moment. Potentially looking at some startup in future, but at the moment just actually promoting my own services. I tend to work with ultra high net worth and high net worth clients, and I specialize in intergenerational health and well-being. So I just provide support services as and when people need them.
Okay, great. So we can promote that on the site again. If you're around in London, we want to build our physical events, and Tim was mentioning that before. We used to hold a couple of events a month in the city at a place called the Brand Exchange, which is currently closed, unfortunately. We'd take over the club for the night, fill it with around about 100 people. We'd take the bar and the lounge downstairs, then we'd move upstairs for maybe sort of an hour's pitching from various companies looking to raise capital, and then everybody would move around, have a drink and such like. And part of the thing we'll be doing is getting back to that. Obviously now we can, which is great, because it's so much nicer to know people, know what they're doing, and for me to be personally introduce somebody to you. So for example, we had I say back in the day, the good old days, we had a company I went to, who was pitching our event. I had a guy come along who I knew, was ex-Goldman Sachs, very good friend of mine, who the following day I had lunch with at one of the clubs in London, and who should be there but this founder who'd been speaking the night before, talking to the Golden guy, who, cut a very long story short, became their lead investor on the whole show. So that's what we do, in the sense of when we're physical, and what we're trying to do through the club as well is to say to you, okay, fine, I know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. At the same time, you've got to get in contact with the people that you can search through the directories of the club, and reach out to them, because they put on the site that they're an angel investor, and you're looking at raising capital, get hold of them. If they put on the site that they're into some sort of a therapy or an offer of some description, then again, you can reach out, offer your services and such like. So it's not a capital raising, it's not a business introduction, it's not special offers and discounts and high flyers and such like. It's literally something for everybody. So the club's got to fit in different areas. For people who want to join, maybe they want to network, maybe they want to raise capital, whatever it might be. Has anybody got any questions for me? What I'll do with this, we'll just keep this one short, is, if it's all right with everybody else, share everybody's information. Yeah. Yep. Just between yourselves, not go out anywhere else. Luke, we need to have a chat about IFAs and such like. I can introduce you to, because that's my background, or one of my backgrounds, which I'm happy to do.
Thank you.
And Tim, it would be interesting to find out more about sports. One of the things we're looking at doing with events is charity sporting events.
Okay. In what way?
Ex-star got a charity they want to raise some money for, come for a lunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's interesting, Neil, because as part of what we're promoting at the moment, we promote obviously live events you can go and watch and actual sports, but alongside there's this very good in the company of sort of marketplace, of which of course charity events come under that. I mean, we're looking at promoting some snooker legends, some football legends events, but if you're doing a charity event with a legend there, that could be of interest to our followers, because as much as people like going to games now, of course they have their favorite sports, and if there's an opportunity to spend time with certain people, that can be a really interesting. So definitely up for speaking and helping. Of course, it would be good for us if it's supporting a charity. I'd love to try and support that, something along those lines, definitely.
No, that'd be great, because I mean, what we're looking at there, obviously our connections, as I say, are, we're talking about physical events now, which is slightly different, but in the city, for example, we know lots, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, we know lots of legals, accountants, PE companies, you name it, brokers and such like, who will take tables at an event.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of venues we've already talked to that we're not looking at packing the place out, but maybe 80 people or so. So 10 tables of 8, or whatever it might be. Let me just let these guys in. Sorry. Venues will gift the space on the basis of charity. Then we'll obviously charge them for a table or per ticket. Then we'll have raffles and such like, all for individuals, sports people's charities. Because a lot of the whether it be rugby, football, cricket, snooker, stars will have some form of charity they're linked into or they're close to. And we don't want to be paying them X thousands to turn up. What we want to do is be raising as much money as we can for them and for their charity.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely a part of our audience that want to do more premium things. And that's actually something we're helping them, whether it's at live sport or events like that, where you might spend a bit more money, but it's a really nice evening food with someone. So definitely.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be a cheap ticket, through 250, 300 a ticket type concept in a top club in London with obviously if it's a lunch, then drinks and lunch. We will ultimately, it's probably not the best time of year at the moment, but perhaps in the new year, more dinner type events. Yeah. And again, run that on the charity side, and everybody benefits because everybody gets to meet a star that they've idolized from old, new business connections and such like. So they will be great events going forward.
Yeah, definitely have maybe a separate conversation with you.
Sure.
When suits about that, for sure.
Absolutely. Georgina, hi. You're muted.
Hi, sorry.
There you go. Welcome. Have a chat. Just introduce yourself, what you're up to.
I'm Georgina, founder of My Shoots, an app that I've just had the MVP completed for. And I've won a grant to fund 37% of the build. I'm on seed legals with SCIS insurance approval in place, and I'm looking to onboard users for my app going forward, and I'm looking to raise investment.
That's great. Thanks, Georgina. I'll cut myself off somehow. There we go. Georgina came to our lunch at our brunch last week. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, thank you. I felt sorry for you about the food, and I had to leave before I could even eat in the end.
Yeah. Where's Rav gone? Has he disappeared? Yes, he has. Where'd he go? I was going to introduce you to Rav. Not to worry. So anybody got any comment regarding the club? Because obviously we're in our early days here of putting people together and getting members on board. Anybody want to see any particular features, easier introductions, more regular newsletters? What would anybody like to have? More events
maybe
like
if
this.
there were,
Sorry.
yeah, so I was just going to say maybe events that sort of target particularly what somebody is wanting, so if they're wanting investment, then something along those lines, sort of pitching to the investor type thing, or if people are just wanting to network and make connections, sort of having some delineation between the events so people can kind of choose what suits them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that we do that, as I say, from networking events to different capital raising events. At the moment, the brunch is a bit of a hybrid. It's investors, networkers, city professionals, and such like. We might look at turning, because I don't think the city's quite ready at the moment for large pitching events. So we might turn the brunch or part of it into maybe 2 or 3 companies, not many, with a 4 or 5 minute pitch, just to stand up over brunch and say, hi, I'm so and so doing this, that, and the other. You know, come and meet me. But I know where you're coming from, and we want to do that with female founders and such like as well. There's a couple of companies out there doing that, but not many. And there's a lot of female founders out there who need a platform to get their story across to potential investors and such like. Then there's the guys and girls who just want to come out, maybe sometimes have a drink, meet people. Again, different types of things, of which again we'll be doing and have done, but we'll be also doing via the club. And as the club goes, the idea will be to hold regular, and this is the first one, so it's quiet and everything else, but regular virtual, hi, I'm so and so, this is what I'm doing, a bit like we've already had talking to Tim and such like, and you know, Tim talking to Luke, and just building your network.
Oh, can I make a comment, Neil?
Sure.
I just have an idea about possibly showcasing somebody, one of your members, and then maybe they can explain their story about, say, how they got involved with this organization, that successful networking they had, and what results and benefits they got, like a success story.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Yeah.
You know, following somebody's journey, maybe joining your event, and then following right to the end to say, okay, I'm looking for investors. Here's what happened because of the results of the connections I made. Here's my story to the end results.
That's a good idea. Would you sort of handle something like that from the production side of it? If we did a mini, I don't know, Dragon's Den type concept or something, and sort of followed a few founders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with Dragon's Den and Shark Tank. I watch those shows.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's a Shark Tank
week
in the UK and
and I've actually met
US.
some of the dragons live too. I've met some of the Shark Tanks live. I bought Robert Hitchcock's book, Will to Win. Yeah, I could do that. You know, shoot a little video clip and then put that together and interview somebody and say, tell me your story, and you know, let's follow the journey. And that might inspire other people, you know, to say, oh, I like that success story.
Yeah, I like that idea. What do other people think? Georgina, what do you think?
I was just about to say, do you want me to give you my story for why I'm sitting here now then?
Yeah, go on.
So I was an agent for shooting clothes, and during that time could see that there was needs and wants to be addressed, and decided madly to go on this journey. But I would say the last 18 months have been an apprenticeship, and that's how I've got involved with exceptional events and Sea Eagles. And because of COVID, I think it's been a blast for me, because I've done a lot of this virtual networking, and one person's passed me to another person, and that's allowed me to get quite a lot of government funding. So Innovate UK funded me to become investor ready, help build my business plan and do market research. That led then to the IP office wanting to do an IP audit for me. The IP office have now come back to me, want to give me another £5,000 to implement the IP audit. And because of all that networking, it led me to be able to apply for the grant, which I then had the business plan in place for, to get the funding to get the MVP built. I don't come from a very rich background, so I needed that grant to get me on the road to start. But now the journey is starting again, because I now need to get the youth on board. So yeah, it's quite a roller coaster, really, isn't it? But yeah, I think everybody's got a story.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Georgina. Yeah, I like that idea in the sense of, also again, I've since or throughout lockdown, we've met, Georgina and I met a number of times on our virtual events, because we hold like a how to get investment ready workshop. Then we hold a practice your pitch workshop to get you sort of a little bit more tuned into how to present and such like. And then we hold virtual pitch and networking events. And the transformation with Georgina over the last sort of 6-12 months, from hope you don't mind me saying, like a rabbit in the headlights. It's been absolutely immense. And so to actually, Barry, cover something like that would be a great little program, shall we say.
I think that's right. I think there's a real opportunity around it, because I've often thought, so you watch Dragon's Den. So people who, like friends of mine who are not, taken a leap of faith and become a founder, and whatever people want to do is great, but they have a completely weird conception of what it's like because they watch Dragon's Den. So nobody really, I don't think a lot of people understand what it's like to just take that leap of faith and try and create something from nothing, and what a grind it is, etc. And it is a great, and everyone's got a story, like Georgina's just given us a flavour of her story there, and it's also fascinating because I think it's not been done. I've often wondered why no one's done a TV, maybe a proper program of like what it's like to be a founder and what you do day to day, and basically you're just constantly getting, you've got to be so resilient. Everyone always says that, but no one's ever done that. I've never seen it done. So I think, and it's so different from Dragon's Den, which is glossy and produced, and it's just, that bears no relevance to the real world to me, particularly about what it's like. So I definitely think, Dara, it's a great idea, and it would be a breath of fresh air, and I think it'd get a lot of traction, because it'd almost be like, well, this is what it's really like. Never mind all the top line stuff you hear. This is the true stories, battle scarred people, etc.
Yeah, I must admit, I do like that idea. It's not something I've really thought about before. I know the Dragon's Den lot because R.I.P. Lois Forrest is actually before they became a partner of mine, they called me up and said, we were in discussions, and we were doing back in the day the Exponential Dragon's Den, and they said, you can't do that, we trademarked it. I was like, okay, fair play. But the Dragon's Den is just purely a TV show, really. We've had a number of, we've actually had a number, probably not quite half a dozen, maybe 4, perhaps 5 companies that in the day were pitching with us, who've actually been on Dragon's Den and actually been funded. But yeah, something like the bottom line of being a founder would be a very interesting sort of little show, I would have thought. Maybe Barry, we're onto something there. We can pick up. Yeah, we'll get some national coverage on it.
Oh, here's another idea for you too. What do you guys think about the idea of, there's a lot of networking organizations around the world, to sometimes maybe have one guest from another networking organization that's global too, and invite them on as a guest to talk about their organizations, like collaborate or cross-promote each other. Because like I said, I'm going to London, England in 2023. I met a lot of people virtually around the world already. I'm actually going to be meeting these people in person and collaborating them somehow, either video or podcast or things like that. Maybe shoot a video for them, for their business, whatever. Because there's an organization in Winnipeg, like I belong to, called Business Sparks. Now, Business Sparks originally started out as a little in-person event group at a local restaurant. We've now gone global worldwide with 420 plus RSVP invites, with about 60 people attending globally worldwide from maybe 20 plus countries. So the virtual world changed us, becoming just a little local group that meets in person at a restaurant in Winnipeg, Canada, to a global worldwide event, getting speakers from around North America so far, not globally, but worldwide, global speakers from USA and Canada. So there's another idea for you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm keen, and say through lockdown, the virtual sides, and we will continue that with the hybrid, has made it great because we can get different. Well, there you are in Canada. There's we in Hong Kong. Just to start with, having a chat. Whereby if we were holding an event in the City of London, you're not going to be here, for example. So there's, and I also believe that collaboration with similar organisations and such like is great. It shouldn't be a competition. Whatever field it is, whether it's high net worth networking, whether it's private dinners and such like, because everybody knows somebody else. Yeah. and put together right, it would be phenomenal. Yeah, so I'm all up for that. And again, as I say, the club will do that because it will run from, as I say, startup founding, capital raising for listed companies, pure just networking, business clubs to introduce, I don't know, a business in the UK to a business in Hong Kong or whatever it might be. And at the same time, everybody's potential, well, depending on what business you're doing, but also everybody's then a potential customer. And, you know, I can put 10 billionaires together on a round table. Yeah. But it's no good for a startup. it just wouldn't help. And that they're Forbes companies and everything else. So, I mean, but at the same time, we can hold a branch in the city where everybody can attend, have a chat with somebody, make a new friend.
Oh, can I mention another idea too, Neil, if that's okay?
Sure, yeah.
I have lots of ideas. I hope you don't mind. Like, if anybody else has ideas to contribute, I'll pause and let somebody else go to their ideas. But we have an organization in Winnipeg called Ramp Up Manitoba. Now, you're talking about startup. You guys have heard the word incubator?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. So it's like an incubator organization. It's called Ramp Up. It's sponsored by North Forge Corporation. They do this twice a year. Not good. I know you guys have heard of this kind of a concept of an event. They actually take a whole bunch of people over a weekend, say Friday to Sunday, and you have to come up with an idea for a business. Then you have to market it and make sales and do research. And by the time Sunday gets evening, you have to pitch it in front of judges. This organization has been running 10 years, and you get judged, and there's a winner. And some of these winners have been gone on to viable businesses. One of them was called Go Oil. It's a mobile oil service where they come to your office or house and they change your oil right at your house. So a lot of these ideas that came up with, they called it a 72-hour challenge, have actually become viable companies. And they become quite valuable. But they start out as just a little 3-day event, and they grew from there. So I've actually covered the event on video, like behind the scenes, on what they're doing in these rooms with all the papers on the walls and all their ideas. And by the time the 3 days is up, they have to pitch their idea to real people, real businesses, and see if they can get a win out of it. And usually you have 3 companies, the first prize winner, the second prize winner, third prize winner, and they win awards like banking investment or information like that. Like viable companies will offer them rewards for their idea, and then it becomes a real company after.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like that. Can I? Yeah, Frank. Hi.
Yep.
You
Hello.
haven't. Could you just? Yeah. I've got the top of your head. Do you want to drop your thing up? Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I apologize for being late. I was caught up in an urgent meeting.
No problems. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Frank Lewis, and I serve on boards of companies as a chairman or non-exec director. I focus on private companies, but also I've listed 8 AIM companies. I'm currently involved in a 200 million real estate company in Ukraine. I've just listed a software company here. I sit on the board, and that's what I do. And I've also, talking about in South Africa, I co-founded the largest retail computer chain in Africa before I left, which we listed there. And over here, I co-founded an interactive TV company, which I listed here. So I've been around. I got a lot of experience in helping businesses grow, build them up. If we want to do an IPO, I got a lot of connections and sort of act as a chairman or NED. And I'm an expert on corporate governance, AIM rules. And today one has to concern oneself on other issues, be it ESG and various other things, which needs to be taken into account when when building businesses. That's me in a nutshell.
Frank, that's great. Anybody got any questions or anybody else at the moment? There we go, Georgina.
So I'm being told to go out and look for my chairman. So as a chairman, are you chairman specific to your industry, or how does that work?
I am a specialist generalist, Georgina. And I've been chairman of companies from manufacturing to retail to real estate to I've also chaired 2 companies in China, listed on name, one in assembled mobile phones, other one was in exported ceramics. And so I've got all this experience to assist companies. And the most important thing is, as a chairman, you've got to ensure the company's well run, but not to run the business. And you've got to ensure that it incorporates proper vision, purpose, and values, and has a culture that can permeate its way through the business to ensure that the company meets its objectives and promotes additional profits.
Great.
If anybody's interested, I've got a website called franklewis.co.uk. You'll see there I've given a lot of interviews around the place and talks, and also 2 TV interviews on my experiences as well.
Frank, that's great. What we'll do, I said earlier before you joined, we'll share everybody's information around tonight or today's event. So they've got it all, and then they can go on the club and integrate as well with that. So that's the plan. As I say, what I want to do is build a community, global community, and it's lovely to see a couple of people from around the world already with this. My background, just to give you a shout, is offshore financial services, private equity. So talking to Way earlier, that I started off in '91 in Hong Kong. I've worked in the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, Dubai. I've been stuck in the UK for the last 18 months, but I'm normally based in Thailand.
Okay, interesting.
And again, backwards and forwards. So again, what we're trying to do, so anybody it's free to join as a basic member. At the moment, you've got full access to the site and everything else, discounts on events, whether they're physical or virtual. And I'd encourage you to build and help me build a very successful community, shall we say. Again, what we'll be looking at in the future is people like Georgina with the shoot side and Way as well with different products, is to be able to offer our club members some form of benefit for a particular product or service that they'll get, whether it might be a discounted product, or health product, or a shoot for a corporate or something like that. So the benefits of the club grow as well.
Yeah.
Tim's sports concept. So, it's a double whammy side. And I don't want to go too much about startups, but obviously can meet investors, raise capital, can then offer your product to various other people and grow the network as you go forward. And that's what I want to do.
Startups is a different ball game in terms of how you have to deal with the company, in terms of the fundraising, in terms of it's more mentoring and holding hands down the line in terms of getting people to help them run their business, because and it's the most difficult part. If you get through that period and you have to start getting a positive cash flow and create a differentiated proposition, you can do reasonably well.
Exactly. So again, this is our first one today. So we're just, practicing ourselves, shall we say. Hope everybody's enjoyed themselves. Anybody got any other comments they'd like to make?
Throw out a quick question, Neil, just to touch on the Barra's idea actually about bringing in, say, someone from another networking group from overseas. And on that note, I'm just curious what your feedback is, or what you've seen at the moment of how, if you're a startup on a seed round, say, kind of situation I'll be approaching, and a few of us here, what is the appetite from overseas to invest in the UK? I mean, are there a lot of angels out there who are actively in the USA who might look to UK? Because at the moment it always seems to be, look to UK, but is there actually a wider pool that we should be thinking about, globally?
Absolutely. This is why we originally, my partner and I, who's funny enough just come back to the UK, spent 22 years in Dubai. From the basis of our first event, which we held in August 2017 at the old Capital Club in the city there, we had a company from Australia, a company from KL, 2 companies from Thailand come over. Who else? That was it, and then some UK companies. And we were working on this basis. The best place to sell a high-end London property isn't necessarily in London, it's in Hong Kong or Singapore or China, right? The best place to sell a paradise villa is not necessarily in Thailand, it's in the UK, because people want to go over there. And we thought, okay, much the same with investments. Why shouldn't a Hong Kong or a Thai company raise money in London? And why shouldn't a London or UK company raise money in Dubai or in Thailand? Because if the concept's right, and forget all, this is one case where you can forget as a startup SCIS and EIS and everything else like that, okay? Because it doesn't apply to necessarily a foreign investor. It can do in certain circumstances, but I won't go into the technical side of that. Then if they like the idea, and it doesn't matter whether they're Hong Kong national or Chinese or Thai or Singaporean, they are going to invest. And so, Tim, to sort of cut round the question, yeah, different places, different folks, different strokes, etc. The concept is, if you got it right, put it out to as many people as possible.
Yeah. Okay, no, it's interesting to hear that. Yeah, keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah. Hi, Rav. I saw you earlier and then you disappeared.
Yeah, well,
I'll give you a minute. I just need a comfort break. Excuse me 1 sec. Introduce yourself and have a chat.
Yeah. Sorry. I think my computer's just got fed up with Zoom because it basically wouldn't start the video until I rebooted the computer, and then it wanted to upgrade Windows and all sorts of things. So sorry about that. I managed to rejoin just before the end of the meeting anyway. My name's Rav, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a health tech digital health company called Medsy, MEDSII. You can go and see us at medsy.com. And what we do is we use data and machine learning algorithms, artificial intelligence, to help predict and prevent future health conditions, specifically chronic conditions. So I suffer from diabetes. And as part of that, I also have comorbidities, including high cholesterol, macular eye disease, that sort of thing. Very common. Unfortunately, I only found out really about these conditions after I got them, just like the majority of the population that have them. And we're talking about 46% of the UK. 1/3 of the world has 2 chronic conditions. And if you have the right interventions, the right information at the right time, myself, I could have prevented or delayed or improved my chances of getting those or of not getting those conditions. So that's what we do. We use data to deliver that information to people before they even know they need it. And I've met Georgina last week. Hi, nice to see you again.
Did you enjoy your food in the end? Did you get any?
Yes. You left before the food. It was fantastic. It was absolutely delicious, that food. So yeah, you missed it. I think you left just when they brought the food out.
Oh, unfortunately, I think they were understaffed, and again, I'm not an event organizer, but your hands are in other. Well, I say I'm not. Right. Yeah. But
it was an excellent event. Thanks a lot, Neil.
No, you're welcome. You just missed Luke. Luke was on a minute ago. The lawyer, the will man.
Yeah.
So again, this one what I want to be able to do is do an online as we get bigger, monthly, twice a month, whatever it might be, once a week, networking event where everybody come on, just like you've just done, and go, hi, I'm so-and-so. We'll share all the information, because people are going to benefit already. Yeah. I mean, personally, obviously, I know Georgina, I know yourself, Tim, certain interesting synergies we've got there as well. and also from where's he gone? He disappeared. Barry as well, with the idea of well, a few ideas actually, which I like, and we'll certainly we'll look at doing something there. And it's nice, and it's nice to be having, you know, Barry from Winnipeg and Canada and Wei from Hong Kong on board, and that's what I'm trying to do is just put people together. Everybody can benefit. Yeah, it's like Tim and I mentioned the charity lunches with export stars and such like, or dinners. To me, I know, you know, I can put the bums on the seats and I can get them the money from an event that they're not going to get from perhaps anybody else. And my motivation for doing that isn't monetary. It's just the fact that I'm going to feel so damn good about it. Yeah. And that's how we want to build the whole concept of the club, events and everything else. As I say, different things, different folks. But that's what we're about. Any other questions, comments? Anybody want to say anything to anybody else at the moment? Or we'll go and enjoy our Friday afternoons or evenings, as it might be.
I've enjoyed it, thanks, Neil. I think the sort of lunchtime slot, obviously it's not the same slot for we and Barry, but the lunchtime is quite a hit actually, because it kind of, you get to the middle of your day and you're probably going to have a little checkout anyway. So the timing is good.
Yeah, thanks for that. We've done a bit of research on that, because obviously late in the evening takes, or even early evening here, takes out half the world, or half that side of the Southeast Asia side of it. Oh, we've got somebody just coming in. I'll let him say hello. I don't know who he is. Probably embarrass him. Throw him in the shark's tank. Richard, are you there? Okay, where's he gone? Oh, okay, I've got him coming up. Give him a second. A chance to say hello. Richard, can you hear me? I've got you on my screen, but I haven't got anything else. If you're there, shout. Give him one more minute, just see let's connect.
I'm now Googling Richard Ocon. I'm intrigued.
I'll send out all the info, folks. Don't worry about that. As I say, also just for the latecomers as well, if you go onto your profile on the club, or if you log in, at the moment by default there's like a forum list there, so you can contact people and everything else. If you hit on your contact details and just upload a little mini photo of yourself, it's far more impressive when you scroll down the profile of people going to look at you. I won't tell you it's 90% more likely you're going to get looked at or whatever, but it's around that sort of figure. And you can also add information. Please don't add pages and pages, but just something on yourself and what you're up to. Yeah, I think we've lost him again. Georgina, good to see you. I hope to see you soon. Tim will be in touch. Barry, Rav, I'll see you soon. Frank, thanks for that.
Yeah,
everybody else.
I've booked into your next lunch, Neil. So looking forward to that.
I'll see you. It's the 5th of. I'll send everybody the information. It's the 5th of November. Bit of a firework night, apparently. We'll do that. I've recorded this as well. What I'll do, I'll post it on if it's all right with everybody, I'll post it on our YouTube channel, which isn't a massive channel, but it gives you access to it. Yeah.
That's good.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I say, please invite any other friends you've got, business associates to join, especially from around the world. Basic membership's free. We're going to leave that as it is for now whilst we build the club. They get full access. It's not the same. You're not going to be able to attend our events for free and everything else, but you'll get discounts and such like. And obviously, the paying members get different deals depending on what they're looking for, either capital raising or meeting potential businesses or whatever the case might be. But thanks, everybody. Barry, thanks a lot.
Take care.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
weekend.
Thanks for having us.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great, Nicole, nice
Bye.
to see you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Cheers all.
Bye-bye.
Thanks
Nice
very
to
much.
meet you all. Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Nicole. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Night, night.
So Neil, I'm going to add you into the resource section of my LinkedIn page
Sure.
because I have a lot of links to different networking organizations. And I would like to interview you for my podcast show too, if
Yeah,
you're
lovely.
okay.
Yeah,
With that,
sure.
you know, it's got about 25 people signed up so far. And I've actually interviewed an organization out of Vancouver. They're called the Grand Connection. And they only started out last year. They've got over 100 members in their directory so far, with speakers around the world too. So like I say, maybe we can get some collaboration going between other Canadian groups, what they do, and UK groups, and kind of, you know, get the idea about what everybody's doing on the planet of Earth.
Yeah, Barry, I'd love that because, I mean, look, I've been around long enough to realize I'm not going to build this on my own. I'm going to build it with the help of other people and
Yeah.
connections I've got and such like,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm up to. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all over that.
So what's the website I can go to then for Exponential Club? Is there a website or is it a meetup?
Yeah, the
or
website is just, it's the Exponential
the Exponential?
.club.
Oh, .club. Okay, so I'll go to
That's
that
it.
website. And I
Yeah,
can
go on
put
there.
my
If you haven't registered, just click on benefits, and it'll tell you what the various plans are, and then
Okay.
join. And if you just join as an individual member, individual basic member, it's free. You know, you put in your
Okay.
name, address, all your contact details, your photos I mentioned, and away you go.
Okay. Oh, one thing I want to mention to you too, Neil, have you heard of what's called streaming services?